McCourty, Graziano back from San Francisco. Monica McNutt, like usual, showing up 3 seconds before we start. Do you live here in New York now? Do you live here? Have you gone home?
It's my second home.
All right. All right.
Somebody's been a New York guy at heart.
Ready to go to work?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, wait. I almost forgot the big fella.
Oh, there he is.
Pretty in the face, slim in the waist. Kendrick Perkins here as well. Let's get to business in the association game of the night. The King, LeBron James and the Lakers hosting the Thunder. No Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, no Luka Doncic. Second quarter, Lakers up 6. Here we go the other way. LeBron might want to put a body out there. Business decisions everywhere. James with 8 points in the first half. Throw it down one time. Who says you can't be agile and mobile at 40-plus? Fourth quarter now. Thunder trailing by 1. Here's Isaiah Joe driving to the rack. He's going to miss the layup. IH, boom, converts. Thunder by 1. A few minutes later, same score. Thunder with the rock. Here's Jalen Williams cutting off the glass. Sweet kiss. Thunder up by 3. This one's getting away from the Lakers a little bit. Under 2 minutes now. The King taking over. Now watch Chet Holmgren here. Get the body in front. Or stay to the side. It's a long season.
You ain't trying to get posted. Don't
no,
act like that. Yeah.
It's easy from my position.
Exactly.
It's very easy from my position. I have no problem handing out criticisms. Here's Jalen Williams getting inside. The fall away over Austin Reeves. Williams game-high 23 points. Thunder hold on to win by 9. Following the game, LeBron James asked about the differences between the Thunder and Lakers.
Where are you seeing the gaps between like where they're at and things they do well consistently versus like kind of the build that you guys are trying to put together?
You want me to compare us to them?
No, I want to know where you think so that like sort of as this team is on, it's like
That's a championship team right there. We're not. So I don't understand.
What are the biggest things you think that are keeping this team as right now?
We can't sustain energy and effort for 48 minutes, and they can. That's why they won a championship.
All right, here with Monica, big Perk as well. Perk, we're going to start with you. Lakers' 3-game winning streak comes to an end last night after yet another ineffective defensive performance. Biggest concern, or I should say biggest takeaway from last night's loss?
I agree with LeBron. Look, to be honest with you, the Lakers, they hadn't built out a championship caliber roster since 2020. And they told you everything that they needed to tell us when they made a trade and went got Luke Kennard, that their focus wasn't there for us winning the championship. Because if it was, they would have went got high motor guys. They would have went got defenders. They would have tried to go get a big man that could actually anchor the middle and do what's needed to be done. But instead, they go and they rely on offense. Offense will win you games, but defense will win you championships. And when you listen to LeBron comments, he knows what it takes and he knows what it looks like, and the Lakers don't have a championship roster.
No Luka, clearly not an excuse because no SGA on the other side. Your biggest takeaway from last night?
It's the Lakers, so we'll continue to discuss them. But, like, this is not a contender. Like, I mean, and granted, you look at the standings right now and they're sitting at 50. Like, okay, maybe. Like, are they right where they need to be? Will they make a push? I think when it comes down to it, as you look at the Western Conference, Joe and Perk, size, depth, defensive competition, or constitution competition, whichever word you want to use. Like, it's just not there in terms of being able to come out of the Western Conference. Now, moving forward, if you can get past this season, I'm not mad at having Luka Doncic as a centerpiece at all, right? I think he will be an attractive guy to play with in this league. It is still the legacy of the Lakers organization, the city of Los Angeles. But right now, like, this team is a first-round bounce out in the playoff teams as far as I'm concerned.
Perk, jump back in here.
This is the big question that you got to ask yourself. Can you build the championship roster around Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves?
That's fair.
That's the question. And my answer is no. Look, I love Austin Reeves. I think he has, one of the when it comes to one of the best young rising stars in the league, I think he has taken that leap. But you can't have two guys on the floor at the same time that's going to be eating up majority of your salary getting picked on defensively. That's just not going to cut it.
I 100% agree with Perk, but I think to me the thing that makes this fascinating is we basically saw the formula in Dallas around Luka. Like, it has been laid out for the Lakers organization in terms of what works well. So I'll be curious to see how they play it.
21 of the last 25 NBA champions, finished the regular season ranked in the top 12 in defensive efficiency. Defense matters. Lakers currently ranked 22nd in defensive efficiency.
James had to say post-game.
Where do you see the gaps between like where they're at and the things they do well consistently versus like kind of the build that you guys are trying to put together?
You want me to compare us to them?
No, I want to know where you think though that like sort of as this team is on, it's like
That's a championship team right there. We're not. So I don't understand.
What are the biggest things you think that are keeping this team as right now?
We can't sustain energy and effort for 48 minutes, and they can. That's why they won a championship.
Monica, what do you make of what LeBron had to say?
All right, I'm going to head out because LeBron said everything there is to say at this point. Like, that is it, right? Like, what else are you supposed to say? And listen, I understand that the Lakers have aspirations. They've got Luka Doncic as their centerpiece. But while LeBron James's statement was simple, it should not be confused with easy. What the Thunder have done and continue to do is impressive. It is why they are the class of the NBA. When I look at this Lakers roster in terms of the size and the depth that you need to compete in the Western Conference, when I look at how they, I think, air quotes around, attempt to defend, I'm not impressed at all. And so I think the core of what is required to win at a high level, the Lakers are without consistently.
Yeah, I mean, he ain't lie. Like, I mean, he was telling the truth. I mean, only thing I would correct is that was not a championship Thunder team out there. SGA was not out there, and J-Dub only played half the game, and he was, that wrist was kind of bothering him, and the Lakers still had nothing for him, especially on the defensive end. We're excited about Austin Reeves coming back, but towards the end of that game, they were hunting him to get those points, and he was an absolute lunchable, could not stop anybody down in the paint, and that was how the Thunder were able to pull away. This Lakers squad is still 500 against teams above 500. They've lost 17 of their games by double digits. LeBron is right. This is not a championship team in Los Angeles.
5th seed in the West, but agreed, slippery slope. Meanwhile, the Jazz, they're 20 games below 500. They did beat the Heat last night, despite not playing Jaren Jackson Jr. or Lauri Markkanen a single second in the fourth quarter. Utah's second win in their last 10 games. Not a good basketball team. Here's Jazz head coach Will Hardy after the game. Listen to this.
That wasn't. Whatever it is, we got to find a way to win, even against teams that are, I guess you can say trying to lose.
Interesting.
Hey, man, free
Monica?
Will Hardy.
Yeah?
Free Will Hardy, guys.
Yeah? Did he say what needed to be said?
Listen, clearly he has an assignment, but he is an excellent coach. And one day, my arc of my body of work as a sports journalist, I hope to be able to have a conversation about the effects of tanking on one mentally, or trying not to lose if we're not using the word tanking. That's embarrassing for the Heat, point blank, period. But then when you look at a guy like Will Hardy, who was on a team that made it to the finals, right? Was an assistant coach with Boston. Like, there is love of basketball, there is winning, there's competitiveness, there is DNA in him that I think is really, it's a difficult situation in terms of what the Jazz are trying to do. But if you're the Heat, that's flat out embarrassing.
I'm going to pull out the tiniest violin possible for Will Hardy in this situation right now. He's going to be fine, because as long as there is a draft, there is going to be tanking, and he is going to end up with a top 5 pick on top of Jaren Jackson, on top of Lauri Markkanen. He's going to be competing with that Utah Jazz team in just a few months. He is going to be fine. If you're talking about overall with the tanking situation, this is just what it is. This is what it's going to be as long as there is a draft and as long as the owners are okay with ping pong balls determining which stars that they are going to get, because the fans in Utah are not going to mind this when they get a good player. They're not going to say, we wish we beat the Miami Heat in February instead of getting a top 5 pick. They're going to be happy with it. Everybody's fine with it except for some of the people who think that this is bad for the sport.
Let me just say this real quick, y'all, before we go, because shout out to our colleague Brian Windhorst, who has this concept called the flip. Because what I do, yes, there you go. Come on, you know, Scott. What I do think is going to be sort of problematic down the stretch is nobody wants to watch terrible basketball all the time. So how do we figure out a way to make some of these wins matter? I get the lottery piece, David Dennis Jr., and I think Wendy might be onto something with constructing a way that wins matter later in the season.
Monica McNutt.